snapped her neck and everything. I know what I'm doing. I'm the manager. You the manager and you don't know where I need to go ring these up at? So once we got it all straightened out, because see, something else was rising in me. I remember I had to come to Christian home today. Something else was rising because they about to work my last nerve. But we got it straight. And I looked at her before I walked out because I didn't want her to have the last impression of me that I was a mean man who demanded to be treated like a paying customer. And I told her, I said, I apologize for being impatient with you. And she looked at me. She didn't apologize, but she just smiled and said, have a good day. So sometimes you got to swallow your pride. Yeah, it is your money, but swallow your pride. Yeah, you need the product. They might have had a bad day. They might have got up on the wrong side of the bed. Now, they might be from Cleveland, Texas, so you better watch out. Just swallow your pride. Okay, back to the message. All of us require some maintenance on us so that it might continue to operate at maximum performance. And those of us who purchase vehicles and like to keep our investments up will find ourselves following those maintenance schedules. Well, likewise, I've learned, even as Christians, this is our owner's manual. And we need to read it because in there it's going to tell us every now and then you need to go in for some routine maintenance if you want to keep operating at maximum performance. Christian home, don't get caught up in yesteryears. This is a new day. You need to boost it up so you can operate at maximum performance. Yeah. Every family, every household, every member, remember, you want to be operating as a Christian at maximum performance. So it's going to behoove each of us to every chance we get to remember to be working out our own salvation with fear and trembling. The truth is, since the day we were saved by grace through faith in Jesus Christ, our check engine lights has occasionally been flashing. We all need a checkup. Yeah, so before you start pointing your finger at somebody else, remember, you need to go by the shop. Because some of us need a whole engine overhaul. They used to sing a song back in the day. They probably still sing it every now and then. Make me over again. And sometimes we need to be made over again. In the text, our text focuses on a man who was a publican, a tax collector. And he had a dilemma. He was short in stature, but he had everything else going for him. Scripture say he was a rich man. And sometimes when you're rich, you get a few perks. But this day, this man, Zacchaeus, didn't get any perks. He wanted to see Jesus. The scripture says not for anything special, just wanted to see who he was. He perhaps had heard about him, and the fame of Jesus did spread rapidly. And when he found out or heard of the fact that Jesus was going to pass through Jericho, he made it his business to get in a position where he could see him. And because he was short, small in stature, the crowd was so overwhelming, he could not stand amidst the crowd and get the kind of look he wanted to look. He thought about there's a tree on the pathway, and I'm going to be smart. I'm going to run ahead of the crowd. I'm going to climb this sycamore tree and position myself where I can get me a real good look at this man Jesus when he comes through. All he wanted to do was see who he was. He didn't want a miracle. He didn't want no healing. He didn't want no more money. He didn't want anything that he felt the Lord was issuing out. All I want to do is just see who this man is. I heard so much about him. If I can just see for myself, I'd be all right. But what he did not expect, though he had Jesus on his mind, Jesus had him on his mind. Yeah, don't ever underestimate the Lord. Yeah. Think you hiding. He sees us. Yeah. And he knows us by name. The scripture says that when Jesus arrived at the place, meaning at the tree where Zacchaeus was perched, he stopped and he looked up. And I like to slow that scene down a little bit because remember, Zacchaeus just wanted to see him. So Jesus gets under the tree and he stops and he looks up. Get you a good look, Zach. If he had a tie on, Jesus probably straightened. What they do now? And then he says to him, first of all, he shocks him. He calls him by name, Zacchaeus, hurry and come down. Because this day I must abide at your house. So you're going to get more than just to see me. You're going to get to host me. And you would think Zacchaeus would be hesitant and confused and scared. But no, the scripture said he made haste and came down and received him joyfully. He was excited. He was glad to receive Jesus. Oh, we need some more Zacchaeuses in church because some people act like they ain't happy about nothing. I mean, you done been to church, you done heard the choir sing, everybody else happy, you done heard good preaching and all of that, and you still can't smile. What's with that? But Zacchaeus was glad. And keep this in mind. I know all of us can't just have people come over at the spur of the moment. We got to straighten up some stuff. We got to hide some stuff, put some stuff up. I used to visit the members of Progressive New Hope unannounced. If I was in the area, the neighborhood, and I knew you lived there, I'd pull by your house, not looking for nothing, just to visit. Just say, pastor's in the neighborhood, want to say hi. That's serious business, serious business. But then I had to learn I can't do that no more. I don't do that no more. People would be so tensed up on Sunday because they say the preacher tell everything from the pulpit. I try not to. So then I said to relax them a little bit, I call you before I come. And just tell you, I wouldn't tell you I was coming. I just said, I plan to come because I'm going to be in your area. And then you could tell me I'm not at home. You don't have to do me like they do the insurance man. People get out the window, don't answer that door. Don't answer the phone. Tell them I'm not here. My mama said she's not here. But Zacchaeus joyfully received him. Do you know Jesus still makes unannounced visits? He still self-invites himself into our lives. Yes, he does. So whenever you feel an unction of the Spirit, you want to joyfully receive him. And it's okay. Because he'll help you get everything that's out of order straightened up. People tell me all the time, Pastor, when I get my life together, they sound spiritual. When I get my life together, I'm coming back to church. I'll be there. Look for me. I say, I'm not going to look for you because you're not going to ever come. Man, why you say that? Because you will never get your life straight by yourself. And church people, those of you who are already clean and polished, let them come. Yeah. We ain't always been no saint. You were baptized and still a demon. Singing in the choir, serving on deacon boards, trustee boards, usher boards, any kind of board. And you were still hellish. Let them come without judgment and criticism. Jesus helped us get straight. I don't know nobody who was born a saint but Jesus. And just like he helped us, he'll help them. Zacchaeus, come on down, man. Today, I'm coming to your house. And he hurried down and joyfully received him. You're going to always have at least one. But one is not good enough in church because they always got to have a partner. In church, for those of you who don't know this, the person who's keeping up all the racket, stirring all the dust, they're not by themselves. They're just the lead person. They the spokesman. But if you follow them, there's some more behind them, pushing them. True story, when I was pastoring in McAllen, Texas, back in 1979, that is. So somebody be like, 79, because we in the 2000s, but 79, when was 79? 1979. We were at a board meeting at our district association. And this lady was the president, I think that's the right title, of the women's department. And there were some women in that department didn't want her to be the president no more. They didn't like her. So they got together, about 4 of them, that I could tell and said, now when the moderator gets up and asks, are there any recommendations, then we gonna stand up and vote her down. And they all were in agreement. So then that Thursday, we all sitting in there, and the sanctuary was full of people. And the moderator got up, and when he asked the recommendation, they had appointed this sister to be the spokesperson. They say, now, sister, I'm not going to call her name because you might know her from years back. I learned, just because you living in Houston don't mean you don't know nobody in McAllen. And she said, now, you stand up and you make the recommendation, and then we going to stand up and support you. And when the moderator made the call, the appeal, and the woman stood up. Brother moderator, I move a sister be removed from serving as the president of the Women's Auxiliary. The church went, whoo. And moderator was speechless. When he looked, he said, okay, who seconded? If any of them other women stood up, y'all done stood up. Now, they didn't tell me, but I saw this with my own eyes. And she looked around. They were sitting with her. And she said, get up. They went to dropping their... Zacchaeus was a publican. He was a publican, which was a tax collector. He worked for the Roman government, and that made him, in the Jews' eyes, a despised man because they considered